Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York State, who ran for office on a promise to get Trump, I mean, we've played the budded sound bites of her saying it over and over and over again, has been tweeting out on X the number that he owes each day. Like we had one the other day, 460, no, it's hard to get my arms around the number. These are millions, 464,576,230.62. Let's just round it and call it 465 million. And she tweets out plus 114,000 because each day, in addition to the 100 million, 110 million he had to pay in prejudgment interest, it continues to accrue interest on it that he owes for every day until he pays it or gets it reversed by an appellate court. And this woman, who actually, I guess, wants us to believe she's a nonpartisan law enforcement official. She is the top law enforcement official in New York State. Every day, not only tweets out plus 114,000, she tweets it on her Attorney General account, and then she retweets herself on her personal account. She's so in love with her tweets. She's really proud of herself that she's come up with this clever way to show us what the running tally is. She's retweeting it everywhere. She's doing it every day. And I will say, you have guys like Tom Elliott, who I follow on X, responding as follows. You're doing well turning Trump critics like me into Trump defenders. Like, this feels pretty ghoulish as he's trying to appeal this outrageous judgment against him that even his critics can see is made up. No one was hurt. And look at her swagger in celebrating it. Emily, your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty gross, especially because that money is set to go basically into the New York Treasury. It's not going to victims. So because of course, there were no victims. In fact, the people who were supposed to be victims testified that they were really glad to have Donald Trump as a client during this trial. So it would be one thing if she was celebrating the money going to people who really truly deserved it. But in fact, what she's celebrating is this hyper partisan takedown of a main presidential candidate in a way that even the Associated Press, their excellent analysis of how this law has been prosecuted that Trump is accused of was found to have broken, how it has been applied in the past, and found, the Associated Press, no friend of Donald Trump, found that this was an unprecedented application of it. So this is what's being celebrated by Letitia James. It's not especially surprising on someone who basically ran on a Get Trump platform, but it is really gross because I think to a lot of people, it just puts this sinking feeling in their stomach about our lurch towards banana republic status. And, it's not just Letitia James. Obviously, I think Judge Chutkan has problems. Judge Engoron has problems in making the whole effort to take down Donald Trump look partisan and look like it'd be more fit for a trial in a banana republic. She's not doing, the country any favors by celebrating this. Again, it's not money that's going to victims because she chose to prosecute a case where there actually, by their own admission, were no victims. And it's just ghoulish is a great word for it, Megyn.
Prosecutors are supposed to be committed to justice, Eliana. That's not getting a conviction, not sticking it to the man, certainly not sticking it to a political opponent, but to justice. And they're certainly not supposed to be licking their lips as the 114,000 gets added to the judgment every day with just a little bit of Trump blood dripping from the mouth. I mean, that's what she's trying to show us here. Meanwhile, look what he's facing. This is just these are a couple of points via CNBC of the position he's in right now. He files this notice of appeal, so he will be appealing, which we knew. He's appealing the money judgment and also the substance of the decision, saying the judge committed errors of law and or fact, abused its discretion and or acted in excess of its jurisdiction. The notice does not indicate that Trump has secured the bond needed to appeal this massive judgment. And that normally, if you get a big judgment like this against you, you do have to show the court, I have a bond that will allow me to pay it. So I'm not appealing just to delay paying the money I owe you. And that's why the courts in all cases would require a defendant like this, in a case like this, to post a bond showing I've got the money, but I have legal rights to play out. He has not secured the appellate bond from the sound of it yet, or at least he didn't notice that. Appeal bonds typically up to 120% of the judgment plus the current interest. At that rate, reports CNBC, Trump's original ruling with interest would indicate he will need to secure a bond worth more than $540 million. I actually just had to swallow just saying that number. Well, like $540 million. I think he testified at trial. He's got about $400 million cash available to him. He's got assets. He's got Trump Tower. He's got other buildings. But I mean, this is massive. This truly is a bet your business situation for Donald Trump. And this is before we've had one criminal trial even begin, Eliana.
Megyn, you said that if you're Tish James, you wouldn't want people to think that you're a partisan hack just going after Donald Trump. But I think what we see in Tish James and Alvin Bragg is that their incentives are sort of different. They're responding to the folks that elected them in New York State. And it seems that they want precisely the opposite. They want to be seen as attack dogs against Donald Trump, pulling any new lever, however novel, in the legal system to get Donald Trump. They know that their mission has been clearly identified. And while it's bad for the country, they clearly think it's good for their political careers. And it's true. This was an unprecedented application of the law. You are seeing Trump critics turn Trump defenders because this sets a precedent that's dangerous for companies in New York. There are plenty of businessmen in New York who oppose Donald Trump who are now fearful of the legal repercussions of a political enemy coming after them using this law. There may not have been any victims, but they're on the hook for hundreds of millions of dollars for inflating a value here. Somebody argues they inflated a value here, inflated a value there. It's dangerous and bad for the country that they're demonstrating that the legal system can be used to go after a political enemy like this. And I think Trump is rightfully appealing this novel verdict.
The Trump campaign legally is not allowed to use campaign money to fund this verdict, or I think his legal fees either. I think the super PAC can pay the legal fees. I got to go back and look at this, to be honest with you, but I know they can't use it to pay this verdict. Private donors could pay it for him. There was a GoFundMe begun by our friend Eliana Cardone, Elena, I should say. I'm looking at you, Eliana. Elena Cardone, wife of Grant Cardone. And it's got like 1.4 million. I mean, these good people have donated their own money to try to help the guy. It's sweet, but it's a drop in the bucket. I mean, it's going to be 550 million. I just don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, Trump has the ability to pull a rabbit out of a hat like no one else, but this one, it disturbs me, and I'm sure it's really disturbing them. I want to tell you about the Association of Mature American Citizens, or AMAC, an organization dedicated to America's seniors. AMAC stands out today by not only advocating for senior issues, but also by pushing for conservative values that affect us all. Did you know you were in a left-wing organization if you're over there in that other one? If you join this organization, you're not just supporting America's senior citizens, you can become part of a movement defending our freedoms and securing our nation's future. Plus, membership brings you exclusive benefits like discounts on travel, dining, entertainment, special insurance rates even. Regardless of your age, if you are driven to preserve freedom, AMAC welcomes you. Sign up now at amac.us/Megyn. And for a limited time, get a free gift membership for someone who shares your love of our great nation. Don't miss out on this chance to make a difference with AMAC. Join today at amac.us/Megyn and extend the invitation to a friend or a family member for free. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.